Hello, it's time to try the dreaded bar chords. Anyway, so it's not as bad as it seems. If we get started on a technique that I found that really is a great way to learn how to do bar chords, to start you off without the pain and suffering of pushing down a bar. So let me show you that. If you're playing bar chords, you probably know all your basic chords. So you know, let's start off with an E minor chord. Okay, you probably know an E minor chord. So we're going to play E minor chord right now, but use different fingers. So start with your ring on the 5th string and then pinky on the 4th string. Okay, they're both on the 2nd fret, right? Because that's E minor. And I want you to start picturing that, because this is the idea. The shapes are movable. The E minor, E major shape, A minor, A major shapes are movable. So now your next step is to make your bar. Now this white, the nut here, is a bar basically. That's what our finger's doing when we're going to move up and play these as bar chords. For right now, just to get used to it, just get the feel, and your finger can just go right along. It's just like it's on the fret. It's a great way to get the fingers, and notice my middle finger isn't on there. I know, I'm trying to get it out of the way because we're going to add that for the major. All right, so just one more time, and once you get this first one, I think the next ones will come way easier because it'll make sense. So E minor using your 3rd, 4th finger, then there's your bar, and just relax, let it fall on there. Make sure you're covering all the strings. And one thing that happens naturally because of the nut here is what you want when you go to do a bar is your finger rolls a little bit naturally towards the headstock, towards the top here, and we want a little roll because that'll get the harder part of your finger on the bar when you need to do a bar. Okay, so you're just using that to get your fingers to work right. Now just add your middle finger to the G string, right? You have your major chord, minor chord, major chord, minor chord. All right, and it's good to feel a little pressure on your first finger so you start feeling what it's going to be like to actually push down the bar. Now, I'm going to have, if you're ready, I'm going to have you do a bar, but you don't have to. You can just do this for weeks and just practice just this, so that's fine too. But let's just try going up to the 3rd fret now and see what happens. Now remember, there's a fret in between the bar and our finger. I notice I have a lot of students when they come up, they close it up, but you're going to need a fret in between. Now you have a G minor, whole step up, A minor. So it just moves by the name of the string. So it's pretty cool. So E minor, right? Barred. F, G. Let's try the 3rd fret. Right? G minor. Let's make it a major. Just put that middle finger there. G major. G minor. And for most, that's probably good, but I will show you the next two. And it's an A minor chord, right? So the A minor, as you see, when we strum, we play our strum with the 5th string. So now our bars are going to be based on this 5th string A instead of E minor, which is based on low E. So that makes sense when we go to bar. So now we're just going to change our fingering again. So you're going to put your middle finger on the 1st fret, ring finger on the 2nd fret, pinky right underneath it. Now you've got yourself an A minor. And just like we did the other one, now you've got your bar. And remember, we're only playing 5 strings on this one because it's based on the A string. Right, so just practice that. Again, if you just want to practice these and not even try a real bar for a while, that's quite all right, because you want to get that technique. You want to get it comfortable and relaxed. So, but if you're ready, let's try it at the 3rd fret again. So 3rd fret, remember we have a bar, middle finger. On the next fret would be the 4th fret. Then on the 5th frets, right there. Now we have a C minor because we have A, B, C. Happens to be a 3rd fret, so that's a C minor there. Now if you're doing really awesome, again, this is really usually down the road a ways, but you could try going back and forth between your G minor and C minor. Okay. Now, today I would stop it there, but I will just show you if you get past this, but I wouldn't worry. The A major is a little different. So I'll show you the 2 ways to play the A major. So A major is 3 in a row, all on the 2nd fret. So you're gonna have your pinky, ring, middle. This is one way to play it. And then practice the bar. But that's a pretty tough bar. I do have students who play it like this and like to play it like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It sounds great. I mean, but it's a challenge to get all those 3 fingers in there and make that work. But anyway, that would be 3rd fret would be the, again, we're based on the A string, would be a C major. C minor. It's not as easy as changing back and forth between the E minor and, but this one works great. Okay, now there's one other trick on this one, and that is to actually bar this A, which means I do a, which we've been doing with bar with the 1st finger, but barring with your 3rd finger. So you'd leave the open A, put your finger and bar the 3 strings. And in this case, most likely you'll just end up with a dead note here, and that's what we want. That's fine. Some people can play it by bending. I would just not worry about that. If it's dead, it's okay. And then really all we're doing is pushing down the A string. So you can just pretend you're pushing down that A string, and then you can move that. Okay, so you can see that that one takes a little twist to get that, and that's why I'm kind of leaving that one out. But if you get to that point, great, and you want to try it, you can try both ways and see what you like. You might like the 3 in a row and find that just worked just fine. And that gives you the main chords that you would use for bar chords. And a great song is, I won't teach it right now, but Islands in the Sun by Weezer, because it covers all 4 of these chords in one song, in one verse, you know. So I'll go one more time through everything, and then hopefully this will make it a more natural transition to play bar chords instead of fighting that bar first until you get the fingers to work. You get the fingers to work, then you can work on getting that bar to work. So, E minor. Remember, you're going to use your ring and pinky. Then practice. Practice just the feeling of putting it down. Nice roll. And again, if you get to that point, boom. Try moving it up. Same thing with the major. You're just going to add your middle finger to that bar. Try it all the way up to 3rd fret. But only if you're feeling it and you want to try it. Again, down the road, you might do this. Weeks, you might just try this, just practicing these fingerings, just getting this to work. Then, what's great is that same exact shape, just have to move down, becomes the minor, right? Because that's A minor shape. So all we have to do is that, practice a bar. So that's why if you get the first 2, you're right on the road to playing this next minor chord really easily. And then lastly was that major. And again, you may not want to try that for a little while, but it's 3 in a row, like that. Or it is, oops, my computer went to sleep. Or it is barred with the 3rd finger or even 4th finger, but you can decide. I actually use my pinky a lot to bar that. So you can try different ways of that, to play it, and see what works for you. And that's a great start in the bar chords. If you get one to work, you're close to being home free on more, because it's really getting that first one to sound is the the painful part. And you know, that's why they always say that's why you have a capo. You can put a capo on, but there's just ways, songs you're gonna need that bar chord. There's eventually a time where you're just gonna need to be able to play these, so they're really worth working at and getting at. And like I said, little at a time, just practice a little bit at a time, get comfortable with it, get the fingers, and then try one to see what happens. And if it's buzzy, just don't over compensate different ways like this. Just relax, just like all the other chords. Get that nice bend to your finger. Get those fingers on there and get it clean. You shouldn't have to squeeze super hard for anything you do. All right, have fun.